Learning new words can feel hard, but it doesn't have to be boring. Fun English stories can make vocabulary learning exciting and easy. When you enjoy the story, the new words stay in your mind longer. Stories show words in real situations, so you understand how to use them. You see how characters speak and describe things. This makes it easier to remember the meaning and use the words in your own sentences. When you read or listen to a story, write down new words you hear. Look at their meaning and try to make your own short sentences with them. The more you use the words, the stronger your memory becomes. Fun English stories can be about anything, mysteries, adventures, or even everyday life. Choose topics you enjoy, and your learning will feel like entertainment, not study. This way, you grow your vocabulary while having fun. The best part is, you can share these stories with friends or family. Practice speaking and using the new words together. Soon, you'll be surprised at how rich and confident your vocabulary becomes. Introduction: Why vocabulary matters and why stories are powerful for learning. The power of stories: how stories make words easier to remember. Choosing the right stories: how to pick stories that help you learn. Reading versus listening: benefits of each for vocabulary growth. Tips while reading: note-taking, guessing word meaning, and context clues. Tips while listening: repetition, pausing, and shadow reading. How to use new words in speaking: practical ways to make them stick. How to use new words in writing: simple exercises to remember vocabulary. Fun practice activities, games, storytelling, and group learning. Story examples: short original fun stories with highlighted vocabulary. Building a daily habit: how to fit learning into your routine. Tracking your progress: keeping a vocabulary journal. Overcoming challenges: what to do if you forget words. Encouragement and motivation: staying consistent. Conclusion and call to action: start your vocabulary journey today. Introduction: why vocabulary matters and why stories help. Vocabulary is the heart of any language. If you know many words, you can express your ideas clearly. You can understand what people say, and you can enjoy books, movies, and conversations more. Without enough words, even simple communication becomes difficult. You may understand the main idea but miss the small details. That is why building your vocabulary is an important step in learning English. Stories are one of the best tools for learning new words. They give you examples of how words are used in real life. You can see how characters speak, think, and describe their world. When you read or listen to a story, you are not just learning grammar. You are also learning the natural flow of language. This makes vocabulary easier to remember and more fun to practice. Unlike boring lists of words, stories keep your mind active. You want to know what happens next, so you keep reading or listening. Without realizing it, you learn new words and remember them for a long time. The power of stories. Stories connect to our emotions. When we feel happy, sad, or excited while reading, our brain remembers the words better. This is because emotions make learning stronger and more lasting. That a story gives each new word a home inside a sentence. You don't just learn the word, you see how it lives with other words. This helps you understand how to use it in real life. In a story, you meet characters who speak naturally. You see how they greet each other, ask questions, and describe things. These conversations teach you how English sounds in everyday life. Stories also show words in different situations. A word might have more than one meaning, and a good story can help you see them all. This makes your vocabulary richer and more flexible. When you enjoy a story, you are not forcing yourself to learn. The words enter your mind almost without effort. This is the secret power of learning through stories. It feels easy, but it works deeply. Choosing the right stories. Not every story is good for learning English. You should choose stories that match your current level. If the story is too hard, you may feel lost and stop reading. Pick stories that you enjoy. If you love mysteries, read mystery stories. If you like adventures, choose stories with action. Enjoyment makes learning faster and more natural. Short stories are great for beginners. They are easy to finish, and you feel a sense of success. This feeling will motivate you to read more and learn more. Look for stories with clear language and simple sentences. This will help you focus on the new words without getting confused by complex grammar. If possible, choose stories that also have an audio version. Listening while reading is a powerful way to improve both vocabulary and pronunciation at the same time. Reading versus listening. Reading and listening are both powerful ways to learn new words, but they help you in different ways. Reading lets you see the spelling and shape of each word. Listening trains your ears to understand how words sound in real conversations. When you read, you can stop and look at a word carefully. You can check its meaning, see how it is used in the sentence, and even write it down. This slow process helps you understand the details. When you listen, you practice catching words at normal speed. This is what happens in real life when people speak. You learn the rhythm of the language and the natural way sentences flow. Listening can also help you understand pronunciation, stress, and intonation. These are things you can't learn fully from reading alone. Together, reading and listening give you a complete learning experience. The best approach is to combine both. Read a story first, then listen to the audio. Or listen first, then read to check the words you missed. This way, you train both your eyes and your ears. Tips while reading. When you read a story, keep a notebook or a digital document nearby. Write down the new words you find. Seeing them written will help you remember their spelling. Do not stop for every new word, or you might lose the flow of the story. Try to guess the meaning from the sentence. Then, check the dictionary later to confirm. Highlight or underline important words in the text. This will make it easier to review them later. You can also use colored pens or markers to make the learning fun. After reading a chapter or a short story, review your list of new words. Try to make your own sentences using these words. This will help you move the words from short-term memory to long-term memory. Rereading is also powerful. When you read the same story again, you understand it better and notice words you missed before. Each time, your vocabulary grows stronger. Tips while listening. When you listen to a story, choose a quiet place where you can focus. Background noise can make it harder to hear and understand new words. Don't worry if you can't understand every single word. Listen for the main idea first. Your brain will slowly start to fill in the missing words over time. Use the pause and rewind buttons. If you hear a new word, pause the audio. Repeat it out loud to practice pronunciation. Then play it again to hear it in context. Try shadow reading. This means speaking along with the narrator. It helps you learn the speed, tone, and rhythm of natural English speech. Listen to the same story more than once. The first time, just enjoy it. The second and third times, focus on catching new words and understanding their meaning. How to use new words in speaking. Learning a new word is only the first step. To keep it in your memory, you must use it when you speak. The more you use it, the more natural it will feel. Start by practicing new words in simple sentences. You don't need to make long or complicated phrases. Just focus on using the word correctly in context. Speak to yourself if you have no one to talk to. Describe your day using the new words you learned. You can do this while cooking, walking, or looking in the mirror. If you have friends or family who also want to learn English, talk with them. Try to include your new words in the conversation. This will make your speaking practice more fun and real. Join English speaking groups, online chats, or language clubs. These places give you the chance to use your new vocabulary in real conversations with different people. How to use new words in writing. Writing is a great way to make new words stay in your mind. When you write, you think about the meaning, spelling, and how the word fits into a sentence. This deep thinking helps you remember it. Start small. Write short sentences or a small diary entry using the new words. Even 2 or 3 sentences a day can make a big difference in your vocabulary. You can also write short stories using your new words. They don't need to be perfect. The goal is to make the words a natural part of your writing. If you like social media, write posts in English and use your new vocabulary. This is a fun way to share your learning and get feedback from friends or followers. After writing, read your sentences again. Check if you used the words correctly. Over time, you will see your writing skills and vocabulary grow together. Fun practice activities. Learning vocabulary doesn't have to be serious all the time. You can turn it into games and activities that make learning enjoyable. This way, you stay motivated and have fun. One idea is to play word games like word bingo or hangman. These games help you remember spelling while keeping you entertained. Another fun activity is story building. One person starts a story with a sentence, and the next person adds a sentence using a new word. This makes everyone think creatively. You can also label things around your house with sticky notes in English. Each time you see the object, you remember the word without extra effort. Create flashcards either on paper or in an app. Play quick review games with them, testing yourself or a friend. A few minutes of practice each day can give big results. Story examples. Mini Story 1. The lost key. Sarah woke up early and saw the shiny key on her table was gone. She looked under the bed, inside the drawer, and even in the kitchen. The mysterious disappearance made her curious. She remembered her cat often played with small objects. She checked behind the sofa and found the key under a dusty cushion. Sarah laughed at the little adventure her cat had caused. Mini Story 2. The rainy day. It was a gloomy afternoon, and dark clouds covered the sky. Tom decided to stay inside and read his favorite book. The sound of gentle rain made the room feel peaceful. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. His friend Ben came in, carrying warm soup. They sat together, enjoying the cozy weather and each other's company. Mini Story 3. The new garden. Emma wanted to make her backyard beautiful. She planted colorful flowers and added a small fountain in the middle. Every morning, she watered the plants and enjoyed the fresh air. Soon, birds began visiting the garden. Their cheerful songs made Emma smile. She felt proud of the lovely space she had created. In each story, the highlighted words like shiny, mysterious, dusty, gloomy, gentle, knock, colorful, fountain, and cheerful can be added to a learner's vocabulary list for review and practice.